I'm Jenn Trepeck of Salad with a Side of Fries podcast here in Chelsea for Flavors of New York to check out City Winery right up the street from Little Island. Let's head inside. We are here with Michael Dorf. So tell us about this location. I know you guys opened relatively recently here.
We started in New York in 2008. We moved here in the beginning of the pandemic. We love opening new locations in the middle of a problem like not being allowed to gather together. But yeah, we opened in May of 2020 here. We couldn't really serve people until the fall, and even then it was a challenge. But we're open now and delighted to be able to have people in person eating and drinking. This is our 12th location. We're in New York and Chicago and Nashville, Atlanta, Boston, Philly, DC, and the Hudson Valley.
So here at Pier 57 at this location, I know there's event space and an art gallery. Tell us everything you've built here.
Well, this is a typical flagship of City Winery. We have multiple music venues. We have separated restaurant space. We've got it all set up so we can have small and big parties throughout the facility. And we make wine on site. We are an actual urban winery. So we try and combine that in all our locations. Pier 57, our new flagship, is the best one yet. We've made 14 years of mistakes and learned from those mistakes, I hope, and most of that is manifested in this beautiful, new facility. Great location, really cool part of town, on the water, surrounded by the Whitney Museum and other beautiful architecture and the new Little Island. It's fantastic.
So you called it an urban winery. Hard to believe you're really growing grapes here in Manhattan. So how does it work?
Yes, the Central Park Pinot Noir is just yummy. No, we bring most of our grapes from California, a little bit from Oregon, a little bit from Washington State, Argentina, and New York in the Finger Lakes. There's an expression in wine called terroir, which is the place of certain soil, wind, atmosphere, altitude is going to grow a certain kind of grape better than others. It's why Pinot Noir grows better in Burgundy, but you don't grow Pinot Noir in Bordeaux. In the United States, you have Willamette Valley, parts of California that just do exquisite Pinot Noir. So one of the blessings, if you will, or part of our business plan that works out is we don't have our own vineyards in New York City or on Spring Street or along the Hudson. We actually get to go to where the grapes are grown the best. So we have about 35 vineyards that we have under contract. We're now bringing about 500 tons of grapes from the West Coast to the actual locations, and we make the wine right on site. It's really nice from an environmental standpoint. While it's not purely local, the fact that we're shipping the grapes to where the consumption is, we're able to process the wine on site. Then when the wine is ready to be drank, instead of putting it into a bottle, we actually put it back in the stainless steel kegs and serve it on tap. And that way we're able to be very environmentally friendly. We're saving right now, we're doing about 2 million glasses a year by the glass throughout all the city wineries, which is about 25 truckloads of bottles, empty bottles. So we're saving all of that by drinking it by the glass on site.
All right, so I have to ask, what are we tasting today?
Well, this is a Sauvignon Blanc from Lake County. It's a very fresh, very nice wine to go with all kinds of fish, oysters, shellfish. In different parts of the world, you go by the region. So in France, a Sancerre, we try and style our Sauvignon Blanc like a Sancerre, so it's very crisp and minerally. This is a Pinot Noir. It's from Mendocino, California. we source from Hudson River, Sonoma Coast in California, Pinots, and we get from a vineyard, Alder Springs in Mendocino, really great. So, you know, I happen to love Pinot Noir. I might have to steal a little bit of this.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's early, but it tastes really good.
Delicious, light, refreshing, perfect for your salad, your seafood, a spring day, a fall day. You're gonna love this one. Absolutely delicious Pinot Noir. For a red, it's on the lighter side and it just really hits the spot. So delicious wine. I know you have restaurant and catering. Tell us about the menu.
Well, we have a menu that we think goes well with wine. In fact, we kind of have inverted, if you will, the model of when you sit down, we say, what would you like, what kind of wine, Jen, would you like to drink? And hopefully you'll say, boy, I'm in the mood for a Chardonnay, a Sauvignon Blanc. Then we'll make a pairing suggestion from a menu what will go well with that wine. That's the opposite of what happens in most restaurants. Usually you look at the menu and go, I feel like a big steak tonight, and therefore gonna have to get a big Cabernet to go with the steak. One of the interesting challenges that we were thinking about 14 years ago and continue to evolve is in an environment where we have concerts and parties and sit down, like what are items that can be shared, finger food, but we didn't want to go traditional tapas. So we were like, what are Mediterranean-based foods, which by the way, usually Spanish, Italian, Greek, have a lot of things in common. Number one, salt, you know, which makes you thirsty, makes you want to pair, you know, cheeses, you know, what is pizza? It's bread and cheese. What do people say? Oh, let's get some wine and cheese, you know, it's like, so these are very simple ingredients. There's, you know, here's some cheese, lettuce, some bread, hummus, vegetables, you know, great salad with feta. So like these are items that can work well with all kinds of wines. And I'm not a traditionalist that says you have to have red with meat and white with fish. Like there's all kinds of variations there. I also frankly think pairing is just a rationale to drink more. We like to pair wine with music. Like I can tell you that certain Led Zeppelin songs work better with a Syrah than they do a Chardonnay. And you're gonna have to believe me because I'm an expert in that.
You are, and we're gonna have to come back for a music pairing. All right, so we've moved on to hot entrees. Tell us what we have.
Well, we have two seafood dishes, one a classic mussels, clams, and shrimp. Then we have our new shrimp pizza, which is really yummy. I'm gonna dig a piece of this for the camera. And then we have a vegetarian pad thai. And we actually have several really good vegetarian dishes. I don't eat that much meat. I do eat a good amount of shellfish, but my mercury level is high. But anyways, I do think everything that applies to me applies to the rest of New York. So we've been going more and more vegan and vegetarian. So there's a tofu pad thai that's really yummy.
Yum.
The unique thing about our pizza, though, I will say, unlike any other New York pizza, is we actually use wine lees from the barrels. That is the sediment that accumulates yeast, and we use it in our pizza dough. So we're the only pizza in New York made with real authentic wine lees. Not saying it's that much better than Ray's, but
it is.
It's pretty good.
All right, here we go for the pad thai.
As a health and wellness person, you know, you probably eat a lot of vegetable.
Delicious pad thai. Not your typical pad thai. I love it. So you mentioned this location opened May of 2020. People couldn't come in person till the fall. How do you manage that as a restaurant, as a venue, a music venue? How do we get everybody back?
Yeah. It has not been easy, and a lot of my friends who are not in the hospitality industry go, why don't you join us over at Google? Or why, you know, like, what are you doing? And I actually am a pretty firm believer that while the office world has changed fundamentally, and maybe work as how we all think about work has changed, there's a real need, especially in the city, but in all the cities that we're located, for people to get together, even if they don't come in 5 days a week anymore and they come in 3 days a week. Now there is even more of a need to get with their colleagues and friends, whether it's small groups, and actually have a little more robust private party, private gathering, a meeting and then dinner. We're seeing so many small groups of 15, 25, 30, and we're perfectly set up for that size, and doing 5 or 6 of those simultaneously, and being able to have people have a meeting, PowerPoint, on all of our AV that we have, and then serve them a lot of food and wine. And we're seeing more and more of that, especially as that there's less activity inside the office. So we think we're well suited for that. Having great entertainment, great wine lists, that all sort of supports that. So I'm still very bullish on our business model, if you will, and hospitality post-pandemic.
Excellent. Well, I can tell you, if you work from home like I do, come here, have lunch, have dinner, the view of the water, the wine, the food, it's all not to be missed. For Flavors of New York, I'm Jenn Trepeck of Salad with a Side of Fries podcast from City Winery. See you next time.
Thanks. Appreciate it.